recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
You're listening to Zed Games, and with me in the studio, I'm Zahra, and with me in the studio tonight is
Caroline
and
Peter.
That was awesome. Completely flawless. So beautifully.
Zahra?
Yes?
Nailed it.
Thank you. You know, this is why I brought you onto the team. Very supportive. That's what I'm looking for. But you know what I'm looking forward to?
Yep.
The news.
The news. Clearly. We also got a bit of a review from you, Caroline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I hope so.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad we have that established. And we also have a little bit of, we're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Yeah, that's right. We're going to feel a little bit nostalgic. We're going to feel old. We're going to make ourselves feel our age.
God, I've been feeling old all day.
Yeah.
Going to uni with students that are like in their 20s.
Yes.
And I'm trying to explain, like, you know, hey, Sanka, you're dead. And they don't understand what that is or what movie it's from.
Oh.
I just feel so old.
Look,
I'm not, but I do.
Yeah. I mean, look, I just realized that the three of us are like, would be considered mature age students.
Mm-hmm.
And we're experiencing that. But we're not here to talk about that.
Nope.
We're here to talk about video games and also
Beep
news.
boop.
And we're going to listen to Toby present the news.
Yes.
If I can
News.
just get that going.
News.
This week in gaming news. GTA Hacker Caught, Cyberpunk 2077 Rebirth, Overwatch 2 goes freemium, and some gaming bites. Alleged GTA Hacker Caught. Last week we reported the hacking of Rockstar Games Studios and the release of over 90 videos of gameplay footage of the upcoming GTA 6. In response, London police have arrested a 17-year-old as well as a handful of other 16 to 21-year-olds associated with the hacker collective Lapsus. The individual accused has previously been arrested and charged for similar hacks on Microsoft and Nvidia earlier this year. It has also been revealed that he is currently under investigation by the FBI and United States Department of Justice for an attack on the rideshare company Uber. Over the weekend of the 24th, the suspect appeared in court and entered a plea of not guilty to the charge of computer misuse brought against him. However, he reportedly pled guilty to breaching the bail conditions of his previous arrest. The accused has now been reprimanded to a youth detention centre, according to the Detective Inspector Michael O'Sullivan of London's Police Cybercrime Unit. Cyberpunk 2077 Rebirth. In the wake of CD Projekt Red's and Netflix's Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Cyberpunk 2077 has rocketed back into public view, and after 6 major patches, going through delays, forced refunds and discount hell, is it finally ready for release? According to you, the players, it is, with more reported concurrent players than The Witcher 3 at its peak. Over the last weekend, the game accumulated over 1 million total players on Steam in one day, leading to director Paweł Sasko emotionally saying the following.
Yeah, but it's good to be back, you know. It's good to be back, honestly.
While the game still has its flaws, players are reporting that they are finding things to love despite them. Overwatch 2 goes freemium. With Overwatch 2 free-to-play coming in the next week, new details regarding the free-to-play model for new versus returning players have been dropped, with new players looking forward to roughly 20 hours of gameplay to unlock the heroes and game modes that returning players will enjoy on release. In this time, they will need to win 50 quick play matches and complete around 100 matches to unlock the 32 original Overwatch heroes. Or you could spell real money and buy the Watchpoint pack. Blizzard has also set up new security measures called Defense Matrix, named after D.Va's shield ability. This system is a set of new moderation tools with SMS Protect binding a phone number to your Battle.net account required to play, and a new AI-driven audio detection and transcription system recording problematic voice chat and features an automated review system. While this still relies on players reporting abusive speech, the system takes over from there. The system is estimated to be released within a few weeks after release. And now for some gaming bites. E3 2023 has been announced under Reed Pop's management and is kicking off June 11, this time coming with dedicated business halls and days.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Netflix to open their own internal game studio neighbouring Next Games, also owned by Netflix, in Helsinki, Finland. However, current estimates are that there may be a few years before they can release anything to market. Now for some game releases. Coming out Thursday 29th, Brew Your Own Trouble in Brewmaster Beer Brewing Simulator, coming to PC, PlayStation, Xbox and Switch. Retro 2D Puzzle Adventure C.A.R.L comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. Coming from Subnautica developers Unknown Worlds. Turn-based tactical strategy game Moonbreaker comes to PC. Transport Railway Sim Railgrade is coming to PC and Switch. And the action RPG Valkyrie Elysium is coming to PlayStation. On Friday 30th, FIFA 23 is coming to PC, PlayStation, Xbox and Switch. And on October 4, escape into one of the largest off-road rally experiences with Dakar Desert Rally coming to PC, PlayStation and Xbox. And Overwatch 2 is coming to PC, PlayStation, Xbox and Switch. That's all this week in gaming news.
Ooh,
Thank you so much for that, Toby.
that's some good news.
That was some crispy news, if I dare say. Like crunchy, indeed. All right, so I did remember that Overwatch 2 was coming out around this time of the year. I just forgot that it was actually happening around this time of the year. It sort of felt like a fun little story you tell your kids when you want them to still believe in something.
Yep.
But no, it's actually coming out in just a few days.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
It-
that
it-
sneaks up.
Yeah, it definitely snuck up on me as well. I'm just like, oh, that's still months away.
it's like, nah,
Next
it's
week.
next week.
Yep.
Are you excited about it, Peter?
Oh, yeah.
Because you've been playing like the beta, was it?
Yeah, I played the beta a couple of weeks ago when it was out, sort of thing, and
Yeah.
definitely still needed some work to be done. But as if you're aware of game development time, betas are usually
Just
very many months before actual release in regards
Yeah.
to the quality and content that's actually there. But yeah, what they did contain was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to jumping in and actually playing it with a good, decent amount of mates and hopefully
Yeah.
meet some new ones too.
no, it should be fun because like I remember I missed out on all the initial hype when the first Overwatch came out, when there was like that beta in the beginning and
Yep.
you
Back in
like
2016.
yeah, and a lot of the heroes changed between the beta and the actual release. Like Bastion didn't have that shield anymore, which
Bastion
was
didn't
like
have a shield.
yeah, that was crazy to think about that was like a thing. But
Yep.
I guess like yeah, so we're about to see what it's actually going to look like in just a few days. Like because I haven't played Overwatch in a few years now. I just couldn't handle it.
Yep.
I got to I rage quit too much.
I was going to say, you've probably got a
Same.
better experience going into number 2 than those players that are still playing at the moment.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay has... The individual heroes are fairly similar,
Yeah.
but the gameplay has massively changed,
Yeah,
especially
so
going
we'll be like
5v5.
starting from like square one.
Yep.
Square zero. I don't know. Square one again.
Yep.
Which should be interesting.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have some Overwatch nights in the future. Maybe not.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not next week because I feel like the server's gonna be absolutely overloaded.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get smashed.
We'll let it settle. You let us know how it goes. I'm pointing at Peter.
Yes.
You let us know how it goes, and then we'll probably like have a little maybe an Overwatch night and just be
Yeah.
like, let's see what's going on and act like tourists, and it'll be very fun. And if we win, we win. If we lose, it's fine.
If we lose, I will cry.
No crying.
Do they still have the old heroes?
Yeah,
Still all
okay.
the original ones, and
Oh,
they're adding
excellent. I
2
can
new ones
still
for the
be
launch of the
Hanzo.
game.
Yeah.
One that was in the beta, Sojourn, very similar to Soldier 76, but with a few
Yeah.
new
Which is pretty
movement-based
cool
abilities.
looking.
And the new one, which is a healer, which is Kiriko, which has a
that's
little
the
fox spirit one.
one. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one you need to pay to get?
You can pay to get her accessed early, otherwise you level
Okay.
up in their free battle pass level
Okay.
things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a bit of a different model to like the first Overwatch game.
Yep.
But yeah, let's see what happens.
The big thing
'cause-
that
Chaos.
I'm getting excited about is jumping in and seeing all the new skins that they've
Oh,
got, the
yeah.
Overwatch 2 versions, and the custom mythic level ones that you can customize character
yeah, no, that's going to be a lot
bits
of
and
fun.
colours and things like that.
It'll be nice
So-
to have like some more expression that you can have. The skins that do come out are a lot of fun, quite
Yep.
detailed. Sometimes have a little bit of lore behind it, or just like that's just kind of funny.
Mhm.
But it's going to be fun to just see new designs, see like how everything's been changed and what feels the same or what
Yep.
feels completely
Because they
different.
have changed some of the models for some of the heroes
Yeah.
and stuff as well, just to put them in the new engine that they've got
Yeah.
for Overwatch 2 and stuff as well.
Yeah.
A lot of them have the similar sort of silhouettes and things, but their base models have been updated a little bit for the time and
Yeah.
things like
Do you
that.
think we'll have a new butt gate?
My name is Zahra, and this is Zed Games, and with me in the studio tonight is Caroline and Peter. And Caroline is going to tell us all about a game called
CatMaze.
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 Now, I did get to see you play a little bit of CatMaze.
Oh, yes, I'm very sorry for that.
No, that is all right. But I'm going to pretend as if I didn't.
Okay.
So, what is CatMaze? What's the little story?
All right, it's a video game, and you are, I think your name is Elena, and you're, I think, a small child? You're like 15 or so.
Yes, so
And
quite young.
You live with your mother, and you seem to be some sort of witchy thing. I think they're referred to as magi in the story.
Magi, yeah.
It's like, it's based on Slavic folklore, the whole game.
Yeah, so a bit of like the fae folk kind of situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got me interested with the hook now.
Yeah. I was drawn to it because it's called CatMaze.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's going to be cats.
Yep.
There is cats. There is a cat
Norwegian
maze.
forest cats.
Basically, you have to rescue your mum from like the world of the dead.
The World of the Dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she got a plague spirit and got abducted.
I love the idea of a plague spirit just being like, okay, I'm the plague. Woo.
Woo, yeah. She managed to hold off the plague spirit for about 10 or so years because she was like,
your mum.
oh, yeah, the mother.
Yep.
Because she's like, oh, my daughter, I can't just leave her alone. She has to be strong enough. So once she feels that you're strong enough, she's like, well, time to die. More or less. Just lets the spirit take her. And you're like, well, I don't like that, so I'm going to get her back.
Yeah.
And you go on a magical quest to find, watch me butcher this pronunciation, Catbayn, Bayn, I think, is this mystical cat creature who walks the unseen paths and who can tell you how to get your mum back, potentially.
Okay. So a bit of like a guide.
Like a trickster god, I think.
All right.
The kind of vibes I was getting. Like, doesn't give you a straight answer.
Yeah.
Well, my cat doesn't give me a straight answer.
No.
either.
Yeah,
No.
they famously do not give straight answers.
No, they don't. And you can't actually do damage, technically. You have little familiars who do damage for you.
Okay.
Nice.
And by finding them, you get new attacks and abilities,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you can switch them out through just by clicking a button. That was one of the things I had a problem with, was the controls. You could cycle through potions and familiars by using one button each, but once you went past it, you had to go right back around, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Which
Okay.
in battle is really annoying. Like,
Yep.
you can go to the main menu and just assign it, but I want to quickly get a health potion and then get a buff potion and then get a mana regen potion quickly in battle.
Yep.
And I don't want to have to be
flicking
that
through,
was- yeah.
scrolling through the
Accidentally
whole.
go too fast and then bypass it again, taking even longer.
Yes,
Oh.
and then an enemy touches me and then I die and I cry inside.
That wasn't the only frustrating thing you encountered.
No.
Did you want to describe the art style?
It's cute.
It's cute.
It's like very lo-fi, retro, not much detail in it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of the background looked like the foreground, and the foreground stuff occasionally would look like the background stuff.
Yeah.
There wasn't a really clear differentiation. Oh, my
Between
goodness,
like
words.
the platforms
Yeah.
and the background.
So I would get lost or not figure out where to go, how to get up to a certain place, because I didn't realize that the thing that looked like it was blocking it was actually just the background, or I thought a platform was part of the background, but it wasn't. It was a platform.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
after a bunch of wandering around, I would find it. There was also some other places that I got really frustrated with the combat. There was some enemies that kept, like, little ghosty dudes who would vanish and then appear pretty much on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually figured out that you had to just spam the attack button constantly to not die.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the amount of times that I just got deleted from the world by those
Yeah, so a few little frustrating sort of
Yeah.
mechanics in regards to the controls and
Mm.
enemies, just randomly jumping on you
Yes.
without you being
Yeah.
able to react or anything like
I
that.
Yeah.
I do remember this. I think it was the first evening when you booted it up, and I was I'm real excited to see you play it.
Mm.
And then you reached this one point that you were just really stuck on.
Yes.
I don't think it was a boss fight or anything either. It was just an aspect of the level and how the enemies were placed that just made it really frustrating for you to deal with.
Mm.
Because you'll just like jump down and then end up in like a little pit of hell. But there's nothing else you can do but jump down and end up in a little pit of hell.
Yeah.
And you had to eventually at some point just put the game down.
I had to walk away, yes, because I was becoming enraged.
Yes. And I was getting enraged on your behalf as well.
Oh, thank you.
I was solidarity.
Yep.
Because it just, like, it's a very cute looking game. And I love a classic story of a daughter going into the afterlife to retrieve her loved one. Like, that's
Yeah.
it's
It's adorable. And there's
That sounds very wholesome.
little
Yeah.
side quests where you can go and help people, and that actually contributes to the ending.
Oh, I love
okay.
that.
So cute.
Yeah,
It's
so
just-
the
yeah.
extra work you do pays off in the end.
Yeah.
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 But, yeah, no. Because the actual gameplay of it sounds frustrating.
It was mixed, yeah. In the end, I persevered because I'm full of spite and I wanted to beat it.
Understandable.
And yeah, apart from a few bits that I'm like, maybe change that, I liked it, yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
I'm glad to hear that.
How
Yeah.
long was the game overall, do you think?
8 hours? 10
Okay.
hours?
Not a super long game,
No,
but
it was-
definitely that's a couple of
It was a
afternoons.
tasty little
Yeah.
morsel.
Yeah.
And
I like to call those filler games because they, fill up the time between this big game and that big game.
yeah.
Feeling
know
it.
it's
That's
not a-
a good. That's a
It-
good
it
time.
fills your time, but it's not going to be a massive time investment.
Yeah.
It's not a 40, 50-hour game that's going to take multiple
Yeah.
weeks or months to finish.
And it's not something you really want to replay. It's just
Yeah.
a one and done,
Yep.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, you might
I was
go
like, you know what?
revisit it again in 6 or 7 years after several updates.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see because it was quite early. So, but I'm really glad that you enjoyed playing it.
Yeah.
Did you have any other thoughts about it that you wanted to share with listeners?
I found it really interesting, some of the mechanics where there's different like pendants you can find and equip that will boost your strength, your speed, or your defense.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe if I utilized that a bit better throughout the game, I wouldn't have had maybe quite as many problems.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting idea.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, and like you can boost that by killing enemies and collecting these little balls from them, I guess experience, and that boosts it further to a cap, and then, but if you get hit, you slowly lose it. And so maybe if you're having a bit of trouble and you keep getting hit, you're going to have even more trouble because your attack or your defense is going to go down even more.
Yeah.
Well, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Cool.
Where can people go to get this CatMaze?
They can get it on the Switch, which is what I played it on, or they can get it from the PlayStation Store on the PlayStation 4 and 5, and it's also on Xbox, and it's also on Steam. It's like $15, so
Definitely.
decent price for just a nice little chunk.
Oh, there
For
we
an
go.
8-9 hour experience, $15 is a good.
That's
good
a
decent
great
value.
deal. That's
Yeah.
like a movie ticket, and you can't. Yeah. The movie's like what, 2 hours including credits?
It's kind of how I budget whether a game's worthwhile or not. $10 for at least a good, decent 2-hour experience or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has little cats in it.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with cats.
One of the magic attacks is you summon basically a wall of cats.
A wall of cats.
A wall of cats that attacks everything on screen pretty
Uh,
much. And
Cat Snarmy.
a cat tsunami, yeah.
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
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 Perfect. Thank you. We're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. And
Yes.
we're going to be talking about, well, I guess things that just sort of tug at our heartstrings, that just sort of makes us feel a little bit like a kid coming home from school, and you get to have that 1 hour video game time only if you finish all your chores. And for
I
me,
got around that.
wait, how did you get around that?
Okay, my mother charged us $10 an hour to use our console system
Okay.
of choice. I ended up getting my own and undercutting her price.
What? Whoa. Wow.
So you made your siblings pay to use your console?
Yep.
Oh.
That is... Dang. I wish I thought of that.
Yep.
Dang. Yeah, that's...
She then tried to charge me the power usage. I asked her to itemize the power bill so I could pay it. She gave up after that, figuring out, I'd pretty do all well, even with these video game things.
Did your parents ever suggest to you that you should consider being a lawyer?
No. My mother once did say that I'd make an excellent assassin.
I wanted to be an
That's a weird
assassin
thing to
when I
come.
was in high school.
That is definitely a weird thing to come from my mother.
Well, look, it's... I mean... My mother's never said that I could be an assassin.
Yep.
Well, neither has my mother.
Apparently I'd just be really good at it because I can disassociate from certain things and whatnot. But,
all right, we're steering back to video games.
Yes.
And for me, the game that has like the most amount of nostalgia for me is Spyro.
Yep.
But not necessarily the very first Spyro game.
Mm-hmm.
The very first Spyro game, I love very fondly with all my heart. Love my little purple boy. He's so cute and perfect. However, the game that I have the most amount of proper nostalgia that brings on memories of like just sort of easier times is Spyro: A Hero's Tale, which was like the sort of weird little reboot thing that they did that wasn't done by Insomniac, were the original creators. It wasn't done. It was done by some of the team. I forget who they were. I don't really care actually. But at the time, I had a PS2, but I did not actually have a memory card for the PS2. And I lived in a country where things like that were actually really hard to come by. But I did have this Spyro game. So I was only allowed to play video games about an hour a day. My mum was quite strict about that. She would let me play it before I did homework though, which I could see was a very... Thanks, Mum. Really appreciate that. But obviously, it sucks to like restart a game over and over and over.
Yep.
So two things happened. I became really good at speedrunning because I didn't quite figure out that there was a way to like sort of hold my game until about a week later. And so what happened is that I would restart the game every single day and I would just like, I need to reach this point next time. I need to reach this point. I just began to find the most efficient routes, the most efficient... I just got really into speedrunning by accident to the point where I could get through the entire first act within an hour. And eventually I sort of get to the second act, which is when Spyro goes to the seashore kind of area. But, that wasn't doing it. So I figured out that if I didn't turn off the PlayStation, it would keep running. And I could unplug it from the TV itself and it'll still be fine, which was important because my family wanted to watch DVDs. So we could like switch over the DVD player and the PS2. Of course, though, the PS2 would get really, really hot.
Yep.
So I grabbed one of the pedestal fans and I directed it at the PS2, and that was enough to keep things somewhat stable. But I knew I had to try and play it as quickly as possible through the entire game because that was a little bit of a precarious situation. Anything could go wrong. I could lose hours of progress. But I do remember like my sisters and also some of the neighbors' kids gathering around me on the couch, like as I'm going through like the final battle with Red, the robot dragon. And it was we're just like fully just cheering. It was great.
Oh,
I was just like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. This is awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's like probably like, I guess one of my fondest memories because I had an obstacle. I found solutions. I stayed within my mother's rules and I kind of seemed like a little bit of a hero to the kids in the neighborhood.
You had a whole hype squad.
I had a whole hype squad.
That's awesome.
It was great. So how about you two? Do you have a game that's like, you just made you feel like, yeah, this is what gaming's about. This is what it means to have fun playing this wacky medium.
I've definitely got a story similar to yours in regards to leaving a console on. Back on the PlayStation 1, didn't have a memory card. Star Wars The Phantom Menace game. Finished that over the course of 3 weeks while using it and whatnot as well, but left it on the entire time because it didn't have a memory card.
Yeah.
That was a lengthy game to try and get through as a kid. So
yeah, that's a bit, it's no Spyro, but...
No. in regards to another game, though, it's more of a mini game, actually, within another game.
Yeah.
Time Splitters 2, back on the PlayStation 2. Don't know if you heard of it.
Time Splitters?
It's one of the original hero shooters to an extent, where you get to choose a character sort of thing, and they might have slight different variations and things.
Okay. It's not ringing a bell, but yeah.
But the part that I remember it very, very fondly for was you could collect mini cartridges throughout the game, and these cartridges would have little mini games on them, one of which was Snake, or a version of Snake in the game. The game itself could be played with up to 4 people on the one console running around shooting each other and whatnot, but turns out these mini games could also potentially be played with up to 4 people. So there we are, me at boarding school with the PlayStation and TV in my room. On the weekend, everyone's bored and whatnot, out of their mind.
You're the most popular kid.
Yep. Yeah, managed to get a few people in the room, and we're just sitting around playing it or whatnot. Eventually, my whole entire year cohort is in my room, sitting around and waiting for a turn to play this 4-player co-op versus Snake game. And I have a very specific memory with that one, because we had a Korean student there as well, and he was always, "No, I study." And that was his response to almost everything. Great guy, but just that was...
Very diligent student.
Very diligent student. Never really got to socialize with everybody because he was always studying. I remember specifically sitting down with him for about an hour and a half playing this game, and I remember seeing him laugh for the first time.
Aww.
Just because we were having so much fun as a big group of people playing this stupid little mini game inside of another game, running around as snakes trying to grab little dots and bite each other's tails and whatnot. It was...
That is so sweet.
Fun.
I love that. I love the moments where it just brings people together.
Yep.
It's just a really fun time, and it might be it's just Snake.
Yep.
It's just 4-player Snake, but that's sometimes all people really need.
That's right. I'm waiting for Snake Battle Royale now, where it's like 100 players on one map.
Oh, it is going to be insane.
I mean, they've done it with Tetris.
I mean, look, you play Tetris. Could you imagine?
Tetris 99.
Have you ever seen gameplay of that?
No.
Yeah.
Wait. I thought we were joking.
No,
I thought this
it's
was
a thing.
Tetris 99
100 people play Tetris, and when you clear rows, you can like obstruct the people in the lead.
That sounds infuriating. I'm going to check it out.
Yep.
Caroline, did you have a game that you wanted to?
There was a bunch of games. It's not really... I don't really have memories particularly associated with games. It's more when me and my sister were young enough to like both be interested in gaming.
Yeah.
She has moved on from the gaming lifestyle, so we say. And yeah, just both of us hanging out in the lounge room, playing games,
just
watching cutscenes.
Having fun
and
together.
then, one of us being like, "It's my turn now."
Well.
And I'm like, "I can't save." "No, it's my turn." "Mom, tell her it's my turn." And then,
Yeah.
Pretty sure that conversation still goes on today with kids.
I mean, look, it's going to be the eternal struggle that all siblings will face and their parents will have to deal with.
I think, Kingdom Hearts was one of the early ones that we played.
I feel like if we start going on about Kingdom Hearts, we're going to spiral again.
Yeah.
So, and it's actually time for us to say goodbye.
I know.
Goodbye.
That went so quickly.
It really does. But real quick, I did just want to say that next week, Saturday, if you're in the Brisbane area, we are be going to Unplugged, which is an event that features tabletop RPGs, board games, everything that isn't digital gaming, basically. And so if you see us around there, we'll be posting a link to it on our Facebook at zedgames.au, and you'll be hearing more about it next week.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
So exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Leaving the house.
Leaving the house.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZedGamesAU.
See you next time.